Hey everybody, it's Jane from Surface Anthology and Chalk Mercantile. How are you today? Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a great day. It is stunningly beautiful here in Connecticut. It's cool. It's sunny. It's really, really, really nice. What I want to show you guys how to do today, and I did it on this side. Now, if you want to know how I created these milk paint, these crusty, chippy milk paint finishes, go to my YouTube channel, Surface Anthology on YouTube, and you'll see how I created these chippy milk paint using Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint finishes. So this is my little, I tried it out. I had to try it out before I, came on because it could be a total disaster. And I used the new, or actually, it's not going to be the new IOD Inlay for long, as we're getting another release soon, very, very soon. I ordered it. My order is going to be arriving for the shop. And as soon as I can sell it and let you guys know, I will, absolutely. But this is the Melange paint inlay, which I love because there's all these small vignettes, larger ones, so you can use them on different size projects. It's really nice. And I use, this is a sunflower with the type up above, which I went a little crazy and kept going over with my brush, and that's what happens. So you don't want to overwork it. And you really cannot tell there is a matte varnish. This is Amy Howard at Home matte varnish, and it looks like nothing. I know if I wanted to put some colored waxes on over this, I can absolutely do that. But just remember, when you put wax over a poly acrylic, finish like this, it's gonna float on top of the matte varnish, right? And it will dry, but it'll be sitting on top. It isn't absorbed into the paint. Hey Cheryl, are you excited about the new Iron Orchid that's gonna be out soon? I am. I always am. And this one does not disappoint at all. It's really fabulous. Is it nice down there, Cheryl, in Virginia? It's gotta be. I bet the whole East Coast is beautiful. It's just stunning out. It's really, really nice. And I've been painting like a maniac today, so I'm a mess. All right. So what I have, as I said, is my Amy Howard at Home. She calls it a matte sealer. It's very nice. You get no brush marks, nothing. It's self-leveling. You don't even know it's there once it's down. And what I think I'm going to use, now this is from, not really, not yet. Okay, soon. It's just been sunny and beautiful all day. And I wish it wouldn't get warmer than this. Oh no, Cheryl's saying we are fixing for a storm. Yeah. Oh no, I'm going to have to pay attention to the weather, because I hope we're not fixing for a storm. That's the worst part of the summer for me, Cheryl. Besides the humidity that makes my hair gigantic, it's the storms. I hate lightning. I hate thunder. I hate all of that. No, that was about the next release. Oh. Oh, Cheryl. There's a delay. So if I ask somebody a question in the comments, it'll go like this, when there's a lot of people on, and we live in such an instant world. I imagine that, like, now I just got that we curly girls love the humidity, right? That came through. I do, as long as my hair's long enough. Like, I don't cut it in the summer. I leave it longer, because you know what happens, right, Cheryl? When we comb out our wet hair, it's like down to here, but then it goes like this. So, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yes, we were excited. No, not yet. Not really yet. Get excited, Cheryl. It's super exciting. There's some really cool designs. Wait till you see. Well, you're going to let me know. You'll let me know how you feel about the new release. I love it. I do. It's got some unusual things in it, some different things. So I'll be interested to see what you think. But this is the melange. We all love that, right? And what I'm going to use on this little fake cutting board is this one. And look at how tiny this is. It's so perfect. If I only had room on my table for all this stuff. But this is, it almost fits perfectly onto this. And I think I'm going to cut the text off because it's going to kind of get cut off anyway. And remember, what do I always say? Grid lines have to be up, right? When you put your inlay down. Cheryl's saying, I saw maybe a teaser. Popsicles and ice cream. Popsicles and ice cream? Oh my God, that's hilarious. Cheryl's saying, no, thank you. I don't think I saw anything like that. You gotta let me know, Cheryl. Send me a message where you saw that. Oh no. That's so funny. And I always wonder where you guys see these teasers. Right? Who's teasing this stuff out? Or it might be the sisters, right? Like doing like a little corner or something behind them. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this out now. And you could not cut it out. You could just cut down here. I'm gonna cut it out because I'm gonna save this little tiny type, right, for another project. So let me go around this way. Okay, good. All right. Cheryl, are you going to watch the Iron Orchid ladies? Joni from Weathered Wings. That's why I was like, I better get on there now. I was painting something. I got to get on there and go live. But they're going to be on they're a collaboration. They went to the Iron Orchid conference and got to meet Annie Sloan and Jonathan Mark Mendez, and they're going to be on, I think, at 4 today. It's either, I'm not sure now, is it 4 Eastern or is it 4 Central? You saw that, right, Cheryl? So they're going to be on talking about the conference, which I can't wait to hear about. Okay, so you see what I did here, right? And now it fits in, and I'm actually going to cut this little shoulder off to follow the design of this little cutting board. And people always ask me, well, would you eat off the cutting, not eat off it, use it? No. I just use plain wood cutting boards that I use Miss Mustard Seeds hemp oil on. If I were to use this maybe to serve something, I would put a piece of parchment paper down, put this stuff on it, and that way it's not on top of the paint finish. Not that I'm worried that anybody's going to get sick if I were cutting on it. Plus, if you're cutting on something with paint, it's just going to chop up that finish. But just, so it's not directly on. I don't know, there's something about it being directly on a painted design that doesn't sit right with me. But that's just me. Okay, so you see how this looks, right? So there it is. Now, it's very breezy. I have the window open. I am going to put down, I put my matte varnish in here. Here it is. And I'm just going to brush this on, a nice coat. And because this is really textured, I want to go back and forth in different directions so it gets in all the little nooks and crannies. And I'm thinking about the transfer or the inlay, that it really, gets in there. All right. So looks good. So now I'm going to grab, and here comes the wind. Grab my inlay. And if you're worried about centering, all you have to do is like give yourself a little mark, right? You could even mark the inlay, mark your piece. And same thing, see, I'm talking and I should be doing this. But you could mark it so that way, you know, you'll be able to kind of center it more accurately. All right. Now I'm going to grab my brayer, which I lost and spent an hour looking for. And I'm just rolling this down. Right into that matte varnish. And then what I'm gonna do, hey Susan, how are you? How is it in your part of the world? I'm taking a cotton cloth here, I'm spraying it with my misting bottle, getting it damp, and then I'm just gonna press this down. I have to say, out of all the Iron Orchid products, they're all so beautiful. I just really love these inlays. I really, really love them. They're so much fun. They're so beautiful. And they're not too difficult. We'll see how this one goes in the matte varnish. Okay, so there it is. Oh, you're over in Niantic. I bet it is, but hasn't it been a beautiful day, Susan? Susan is in Niantic, which is a beautiful coastal town, right, Susan, in Connecticut. And it's just got great restaurants, those great kinds of, you know, seafood shacks that you go into, and beaches and boats and sailboats. It's just beautiful. It really is. Yeah, it's windy here, and let me tell you, just coming through this window, I had the inlays cut and kind of laid out for something, and they were blowing all over the place. So yeah, it's a windy day. All right, so here's the deal. I'm gonna use my blow dryer to get this so that, you see how clear the design looks through the grid now? I want it to look, you know, start to look misty, so that the paper is drying. East Coast girls in the house, right, Cheryl? Yes, you do. You live, Susan, you live, what is that, Niantic? I don't know, 20 minutes? If I flew down Route 9, right, got onto 95, it's really fast. It's really, really fast. And Susan, you know I have a shop in Deep River, right? Well, not a shop. I have a space. A space. Okay, and I'm going to put something heavy down on my inlays. So I have this on cool air. And we'll see how it goes. Cheryl, and I bet you too, Susan, I can't imagine not living by like an ocean, right? I guess, you know, if you're inland, there's lakes and stuff, but I love being able to go down to the ocean, right? I live on a town along the river, but when we head down to like Old Saybrook or we go to Niantic, it's like 8 degrees cooler. It's gonna be 8 degrees because I'm always looking. Yeah, 20. Oh, you've been to it. Yes, the Rose transfer. Yay. You miss the ocean, right, Cheryl? I love it. I love it. I love it. And I just love going, and it's always so refreshing to be down there, even on the most miserable days. It's better than being, here in the, I've got very wooded property, So I feel you, Cheryl. And Susan, now Susan's local, and Deep River is where my space is at G's Treasures. Susan, I don't have everything there, as I'm sure you figured out. So, if you ever want something, or you're going to go there and you want to see something, let me know a couple of days before and I'll bring it down and have it ready for you to check out. I forgot what it's like to have a space. You should see me handwriting tags. Oh my goodness. All right, so it's cool. It feels damp. I'm going to put a little bit more air on it. All right. Oh, good. Susan's like, great, thank you. Salty air and the sounds of crashing waves. Exactly, Cheryl. Though we're on the sound, we don't get like a ton of crashing waves. We go to Rhode Island for that. Hey, Michelle. Have missed the group. I broke my leg. Cheryl, you broke your leg. You've been in the hospital for 10 weeks. Oh my God, 4 surgeries. How are you doing now? Did you break your femur, your upper or lower? Oh, that's a nightmare. I know, and Cheryl's saying I love Rhode Island. Rhode Island is fabulous. I love Rhode Island. I love the Rhode Island accent, right? All right, now what I'm doing, I got my misting bottle. This is looking misty, right? It doesn't look as clear. We'll see how it goes. And I'm misting this, the Inlay. I love these misting bottles. Oh, poor Michelle. I'm pressing down with that cotton pad, kind of pushing the water into the transfer. Tibial and femur? Oh, Michelle. So, Michelle, you gotta still be on crutches, right? Wow, are you able to do any creative things, any creating, anything? Like maybe you're probably not mobile, so maybe crocheting, quilting, anything? Ugh. All right, now I'm gonna take a little corner, a section, and just start to pull this up. It's like the magic. And there it is. Ugh. Isn't that fabulous? Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? It's every time I do this, it's like magic. Now, there's a lot of discussion about, can you reuse an inlay once it was put into a matte varnish, a matte sealer? And some people say yes, some people say no. So I've decided it depends on the brand. So I'm going to try to reuse this one, and I'll report back and let you know. You were day drinking. Right, I know. Exactly. When you wonder what it's like to be you're like grounded, right? Michelle's saying, I was bedridden, now I can start to add weight. Oh, good. Just kidding. Don't do that. Michelle's not going to do that. That would be you and I, Cheryl. Oh, plus, Michelle, you're probably on pain medication, right? And then you have to start adding weight. And then I bet you've already been going to physical therapy, which I know they start so early because they don't want everything to seize up. But you guys, look at this, how sweet this is. Isn't that fabulous? I wanted something really textury, really old looking to put in my kitchen. You know, along with all my ironstone. If you saw my posts about my ironstone, I took down my hot chocolate sign, and then I'm like, I want to make a coffee sign, and then I'm like, I want to do something that's really light and airy for summer, and I love this. I just think it's gorgeous. And I have little hints of blue that were under there. But this is the Miss Mustard Seed milk paint, and if you go to my YouTube channel, and you'll see how I created the texture with this. The inlay, isn't it beautiful, Cheryl? It is. It's absolutely gorgeous. This whole book of inlays has got such great designs, you know, the little bees, but you could cut all these out for like little tiny projects, right? And it's so nice, you know? So there it is, you guys. Oh, Michelle's asking, which inlay is this? It's the Melange inlay. It's right there, Melange, and it really is beautiful, Michelle. Let me show you the back. Because there's different scales of things. You know, some designs are the whole page, like this one, and I did do a project with that. Then there are other ones like the bees that you could cut up. Look at this beautiful rooster. That's a whole page design. Lots of sunflowers for summer. There's the one I just used. So it's a really nice inlay to have. And I did, by the way, Brenda was asking, I have reintroduced the paint inlay kit where there's a video. You get one sheet, and I think it's the Chateau inlay. You get one sheet of that inlay, I think it's an 8x8 or an 8x10 board, paint, all kinds of stuff. Iced coffee sign, right, Cheryl? Absolutely, I love iced coffee. You know, that would be a good stencil to make. I have to figure that out. So you guys, that's it. Now, what I'm going to do when this is 100% dry, you know, and I could use both sides, right? I've got these two designs, is I am going to put the matte varnish over the whole thing, okay? And if I did it now, it's still damp, and I'm dragging my brush over it, that's when it all smudges. So I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I'm going to very gingerly, one coat, one pass, put that matte varnish on with my brush and, you know, my synthetic brush, and then let that dry and go over, you know, the top and all the edges. But it's so pretty. And look at all that texture. I mean, it doesn't get more textury than that. And if I wanted to push this even further, I can grab my dark waxes. Once my varnish is done, right, the matte sealer, when this is totally done, I did my coat, right, it's completely dry, and I would let it dry at, you know, like 24 hours, really get dry. Then I can go in with some colored waxes if I want to do a little bit around the edge, something like that, to add a little patina to it. You can put wax on matte varnish. You know, you cannot put matte varnish over wax. Once wax is down, nothing else is going on top of it. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. I agree. I just think it's beautiful, and I think it's going to look really nice, you know, I'll hang it from one of those pegs that I made my husband. My poor husband. Oh my God. I think I make him anxious about these things that we try to design. Because he was like, now how many pegs do you want? How far do you want the pegs apart? How long are the pegs? And I was like, oh my God. You know, big decisions, right? But there's the gray side with the sunflowers, and the white side with the beautiful kind of Frenchy motif here. So that's it, you guys. It is 3 o'clock, and I'm pretty sure that the IOD gang, and I forgot what they're called, it might have been, I think it had the word creative in it. Oh, Cheryl's asking about the party. So Cheryl, thanks for asking. It took me a couple of days to get over that, right? You know, I have to tell you guys, I actually looked up before I tell you about the party, Cheryl, and the party was my grandson's 5th birthday party. I put my phone on do not disturb, right? It has focus. So why is my phone ringing? This never happened before, and I did the latest update, and it's like all of a sudden they're coming right through that. So if anybody knows that key, like how to make it so your phone actually doesn't disturb you, let me know. So Cheryl, the party was fabulous. There were over 35 people here because parents came, younger and older siblings came, which we loved because it was a gorgeous day last Sunday. And was it last Sunday? No, it was 2 Sundays ago. And we barbecued, a lot of hamburgers and hot dogs. I did my 10,000 steps, Cheryl, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, I was in the kitchen to the dining room, and then I was going up and downstairs because we had, you know, our backyard set up with chairs and a picnic table and everything. The kids did painting activities. My daughter-in-law, Lacey, had all the most wonderful activities because you got to direct these kids. But Cheryl, at one point when the activities were done and they put out the slip and slide, I looked out the front window because I was switching out all the food for the cake time, right? And they were all in their bathing suits covered in mud because the part of my lawn that the slip and slide was on was a lot of dirt, right? We don't really have a lawn. And then they were all shooting bubble guns, you know, the bubble guns and the water, you know, water guns, squirt guns. And it was just hilarious. And then they came in, they were running in and out. So, you know, lots of mud. But I did sleep really well that night, Susan. It was a lot of fun. We had a piñata. It was fabulous. No, oh my God, Cheryl, that's right. And the kids were so sweet. There was one little girl named Emily, and she looked at me. She was a little towhead, you know, that white blonde hair, covered in mud. She came in and she sat down next to me in the dining room when I was trying to get everything ready. She goes, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name's Jane." She goes, "Oh, I don't like that name." And I said, "Emily, I totally understand." Right, Cheryl, you clean after the party. And you were right. That night, we had to wait for all the dirt blobs to dry, and I vacuumed. Next day, I washed the floors, and it really wasn't that bad. You know, it's like, it was so worth it because it was just so much fun. Mateo had a blast, and his friends. Yeah, Emily, she was a riot. You know what they say, you know, kids are honest, right? She does not like the name Jane. And I get it, right? And the way she looked me right in the eye and in all seriousness said, "Well, I don't like that name." You know, and her mother was horrified. I'm like, "Don't be." I have 3 sons. I remember the stuff they used to say, and it's like, oh my God. No, it wasn't Emily Post. Cheryl. It was so much fun. I'll tell you, for next year, we're going to make sure we have some grass down, right? Because he's going to be 6. And every weekend, you know, knock on wood, it's been, you know, all of his birthdays have been really nice weather. So I know, Susan, what a riot, right? Such a riot. Did you tell her that you spell it with a Y and that makes it cool? That would have been really funny. Well, you know, Emily, I spell my name with a Y. Oh, she would have just probably looked at me and turned around and walked away. She was absolutely adorable. All the kids were. They really were. I just get a kick out of them. I really do. You know how they're at that age, you know, turning 5, and their personalities, they get a lot of, I don't know, they're just getting so much more stuff. It's like all of a sudden Mateo is reading words, and writing. I'm teaching him script writing, and they think about things. Well, why don't we see that? Why did somebody make that decision? I just love it. I absolutely love it. My favorite thing is watching kids together, just talking, having a conversation with each other, and the ideas that they have. It's so great. So thanks for asking, Cheryl. It was a blast. And yeah, I have to tell you, we went to bed that night. I think we slept like an hour later than we usually do. We were even the dogs were exhausted. It was really, really funny. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to share on my page when the little collab talk is, the IOD ladies, because I want to hear how the conference was, what they learned, what they got from it. So I'll share that, but I think it's at 4. I'm not sure if it's 4 Eastern or 4 Central, but I'll share with you that link. All right, you guys. Cheryl, thanks for joining. Susan, thank you so much. Michelle, feel better and better every day, okay? So that you're up and walking around on that leg. Oh, you're all welcome. Take care, you guys. I'll see you soon.